We're about to roll into the weekend, but before we do that, we got to make fun of the Cleveland Browns. We got to make fun of Dillon Gabriel, the Hawaiian leprechaun. Stefanski, we're on him getting fired watch. We're on Shadur Sanders watched every single day. More news coming out of this Cleveland Browns camp. We got some changes up top.
Even though Paul left, Super Bowl window 2.0 is still wide open. Now get mommy a beer.
I got a little bit of news on Shadur Sanders, which might equate to bigger news here in the next few days. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. Take on this side quest with me. Follow me along with this journey of making fun of the Cleveland Browns. They break your heart on Sundays, and I put it back together throughout the week, making fun of this quarterback situation, making fun of the coaching staff, making fun of leadership, ownership, whatever you want to call it. But it needs to be done. It needs to be called out. Click that subscribe button. Let's perform this side quest together. But big news right now. Shedeur Sanders back at practice. And we got the clips. We got practice clips here on Shedeur Sanders, seeing how his back is looking. And it's a small sample. But as you can see, we're back out there. We're moving around. We're at practice. Here you get a better look. You get a better feel. Let me know what you think, chat. Let me know what you think. Looks like we're back. Looks like we're back ready to rock and roll to me. And these are recent from yesterday. They can't film the whole practice like they were doing in the offseason. They can only get to start. They're not allowed to film while wide receivers are running routes. That's what Mary Kay said in a tweet, and that's per usual with all the teams. If it wasn't, I'd be sharing clips all day long from all the teams like I do in the off season, and I'd be just doing that all day long, just having fun, vibing with you guys. But looks like we're good to go. Looks like we're back. Looks like Shedeur Sanders should be back, if not this week soon, but he should be back. But the big thing here with the Cleveland Browns is that DePodesta is gone. They're about to clean some house. Stefanski better count his days.
I've been assured that this was DePodesta's decision, that he wasn't forced out. Now, we don't know what would have happened at the end of the year, but I don't think this was in the works from the Browns' end. I have no vibe of that whatsoever, and I've talked to people about it. That DePodesta was getting a little restless with what he was doing, had an opportunity to go back to MLB and really build an organization from the ground up. So it just so happens that all Browns fans wanted to see this happen, and we'll never know if it would have happened.
The Jets know Dillon Gabriel sucks. They know that Dillon Gabriel ain't it. They know that he is just going to throw the short ball, and that they got to run it all game long.
I know exactly what the coach is trying to do. Like, he's trying to do a good job of making sure that he brings this quarterback along slowly. They're leaning on the run game, and they're obviously giving him a chance to get the ball out quick.
Everybody's sick of Dillon Gabriel not being able to chuck the ball downfield, limiting the offense. Stefanski doesn't have an answer to the media. Nobody else has an answer to the media.
At the time of the draft, both you and Andrew said Dillon Gabriel that his height didn't show up on college game film. Mm-hmm. You think it's showing up now? I mean, his inability to get the ball to the receivers.
Yeah, I understand the question, Tony, but I would not characterize it that way. We need to play better as an offense. Certainly, there's areas to improve for a young quarterback, but it's really on all of us to improve.
You threw only 8 passes to receivers in New England. So the question is, are you uncomfortable throwing downfield?
No, I think there's just a mixture of things that have to come together to make that happen. That's myself included.
Do you think Gabriel was able to see you guys downfield?
Yes.
Even Reese doesn't have an answer for Dillon Gabriel. Doesn't know how to fix him, does not know how to get him right, because he knows he sucks. He knows he's not supposed to be there. He's supposed to be a backup.
New England game, you mentioned that you got to make Gabriel comfortable.
Yep.
And then he went out and did what he did. He only threw 8 balls to receivers.
Yeah.
How do you make him comfortable?
Yeah, we got to
with receivers.
We got to put the receivers in the right spots. We got to ask him to do the right things. We got to make sure that we're giving him the looks during the week.
Gabriel was comfortable playing mostly shotgun at Oregon. You think you need to go to that to make him more comfortable?
I think there's a lot of things we can do to make him comfortable. I think there's great communication between Dillon and the staff on what gets him to that point.
It's over. This team is going to clean house. They're going to start looking from within. This team's not winning games. It is a frustrating team. This offense is the worst in the league, and Stefanski better count his days.
Well, to me, this is him beating the inevitable. That's how I read the situation. He knows that the owner is now done focusing on the stadium and actually is starting to look at what's happening with the football team. And Jimmy Haslam, I don't know who is in his ear to what degree, but we do know that Paul DePodesta was in his ear, and Paul DePodesta somehow had this convincing hold over Jimmy Haslam. Paul DePodesta was with the Cleveland Browns for a not short amount of time. I mean, you're talking about the better part of the last decade, almost a decade in Cleveland for this guy. And, to now go to the Rockies, I think he's beating what would have been the end for him. Does it necessarily mean it's the end for the other guys? I don't know the answer to that. Do I think that's the case? I do. I think that the Browns are going to hit the reset button because there's people out there who say that, no, the seats aren't hot for these guys. And to me, this is DePodesta has lost. I think he's trying to get out here, guys. And this is my theory. Haslam finally started to say what's going on, what exactly is happening here. And I think that DePodesta and Haslam lost their connection maybe in recent weeks, if not months. And Depot has been looking to get out. And this is his way of getting out. He's beating what would have been a firing. It's an optics move for him to take another job. And you're beating the reset. I mean, that's what my intuition says. I have not heard your show before I came on, so I don't actually know what you two have said about this, but that's my theory.
When you're looking at the quarterback position here, Dillon Gabriel has a layup game potentially here against the Jets. They can win in spite of him, and that's what they're hoping, that they can lock it down with the defense and Quinshon Judkins gets it done in the run game. That is what they're hoping this week. They're hoping that Gabriel doesn't mess it up too much. It does not look like it did last time against the Patriots because that was awful. Like, they want to keep Gabriel on script, dinking and dunking, more like dinking, and then hopefully that defense comes through, and the offense only has to do a little bit, maybe score 3 points. Like, I'm not even joking, and the rest comes from the defense. That's what they're hoping for, and they lock down the Jets. If this becomes a game and there's some back and forth, and Dillon Gabriel has to get off script, there's a chance you see Shedeur this week. There's a chance. This can't go on much longer. This can't. Stefanski, though, can hold on tight as long as he can if they can eke out that win, no matter how Gabriel looks. That's the one thing to note here. If they win this game and Gabriel's not as atrocious, if not more, against the Patriots versus this Jets team this weekend, he's going to be out there again. And the odds of them beating the Jets, considering they're wheeling, dealing, and getting rid of their good pieces here, and this team's likely going to roll over, yeah, that's not looking good here if you're looking for Shedeur to come in soon. But all in all, when you're looking at Dillon Gabriel, you're looking at Stefanski. The one thing we can definitely do is keep laughing at them and making fun of them for this horrendous mistake they keep doing. And then on top of that, we know Shedeur's time is coming. It's coming sooner than later. Maybe against the Raiders down the road, maybe in a couple weeks. It could be on Sunday. But I do know Stefanski wants to hold on tight. He wants to play and coach with 2 condoms on. Strong D, run game, throwing it no further than 5 yards downfield, and hopes it ekes out. If it ekes out to a dub, then he gets the opportunity to play whatever hell type of offense that is the next week, and that's what we're going to have to endure. But the wheels are going to fall off. The wheels are coming off. The wheels are going to rip off. They ain't going to rust off. They ain't going to fall off. They're going to rip off. And Stefanski might just get fired sooner now. Like, they might look at this organization and say, let's clean house. And the house cleaning has to be coming, especially when you look at the quarterback issue. Everybody's got this question. We've covered so many media reports, national, Cleveland. So many reports, so many people got questions about what they're doing with these quarterbacks. They had 4, traded 2 away. They were 2 veterans. You got the 2 rookies, but you didn't develop them. You didn't try to develop them. You didn't really structure the reps for these quarterbacks. You did not do anything to really help them come along. That's the thing. Like, you got talent here. Like, Shedeur's a more of a premium talent. Gabriel's a talent to be a good backup for years. And you're just stringing them along. Like, you're not working on their development. You're trying to develop Gabriel on the fly to keep your job, like narcissistic development, but you're really not developing. There's no plans in place. Like, you can say, like, he's been out with the back, he's been out with this and that in training camp when you're talking about both quarterbacks even, but you can also say, like, they did not bring up the competition when the competition should have been brought up. Like, I'll give you grace. You had round 3 quarterback versus round 5 quarterback, and maybe you looked at it like that. But we also know the context of that round 5 quarterback. And then once we got into training camp, and then after what we saw in OTAs and minicamp, when that round 3 quarterback was getting balls batted down, throwing picks, looking horrendous, the numbers, the stats we were getting from training camp, and we thought that wasn't real. We were making fun of it. I made fun of it at first. It's coming alive. It's coming alive right now. You're seeing it on the field. Gabriel had the worst stats. He had the worst film. He had the worst clips. Context with everything. Context with who is on the field, what they're trying to run, what they were trying to install, develop, or whatever in those moments. But you had Shedeur maximizing where he was at. So it's not like you were trying to install more with him, trying to give him a push, trying to get him from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4 to 5 from practice to practice. Like, after he mastered one level, considering this is a video game or using that for a comparison, like, that didn't happen. Development's not here. Development's not here for this franchise. That is what has been shown. And where else is development not coming up, and what other positions they are not developing, and how much better could this team be? And how much better could this team or could have been over these years if they were in it to develop instead of just put together a team, let's coach it, let's win it, instead of doing the full buffet here, developing your back end. Developing your back end. This has showed more than quarterback controversy, quarterback this, Shedeur this, that. It's also shown the hand that they ain't here to develop. They ain't here to develop. And what else? Because there's more. There's more that we ain't seeing because we're watching this, but it's the clue. It's the breadcrumbs. There's more. They're cleaning house. They're watching some of these videos from us content creators too. They're watching the radio shows. They're hearing the noise. That's why it's important to like. That's why it's important to watch. That's important that we keep talking up. Because if you want change, you got to voice it out there. You got to voice it out there. And you're seeing this in Haslam. Someone from Haslam's camp. Someone from there. Just getting that echoed in and out of the ears. That's how you're going to get some change here. And they're seeing the evidence too. They don't have to. But again, I can't get off the internet. You're not getting off the internet. You're here. Everybody else can't get off the internet. And they're looking at Brown's stuff. I guarantee you that much at least. They probably came across a couple of these videos. They're not developing. Accountability's probably not being held either. Not appropriately. Maybe it is, but not appropriately to where you're driving results. I can definitely have a good feel of that due to my professional experience, that I have a good feel that accountability is not there 100% to drive results, positive and negative, because there's also positive accountability. Just praising guys, letting guys get more opportunities because, hey, I don't want to mess up anymore because things are looking good. I feel like I can prosper here. Like Shedeur, like if you gave more opportunities, everybody looks around like, hey, if I work hard, if I perform, if I just do a little bit, I'll get a little bit more. If I do a little bit more, I get a little bit more. I'm going to work a little bit harder. It's like that everywhere. It's like that everywhere. And that's another clue. That's another clue. That's another clue. We saw that in training camp. We saw that. And it's not being done. Let me know what you think in the comments below. When is house being cleaned? When Shedeur is going to start? How many hospital balls is Dillon Gabriel going to throw? I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next one.